Hello and welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast. This is episode 184. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to provide products from an honest and unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Brian Cross from the Firearms Radio Network, your source broadcast for shooters, hunters, and all things firearms related. And this week, we're going to be talking about 4 new suppressors that have come out this year. So it's going to be pretty much a suppressor-only show. So we're not going to whisper. So how you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Sweet. We got Rob, and we got Chad, and we got Tony.
We got Tony.
Hi,
Ryan. Oh, you guys all suck.
Well,
you just suck.
It's to help. It's to help in post-production. We've all got to talk in a lower register so we all sound like Tony.
Today was my first day back at work, so of course everyone had something to say about my voice.
Does your wife like your new voice?
My wife tired of my voice, period. I've been home for 9 days sick. I had to go to work just so I wouldn't die at home in an accident.
An accident.
Oh.
Okay.
One of those, get your butt to work.
No, one of those, she had to come up with an alibi where she was as I somehow took a shower with my radio.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So anyone do anything good in guns this last week?
Good
Oh, hell
guns.
yes.
Oh, I think you topped all of us there, Rob.
Yes. Yeah, I'll go last.
Okay. Well, I don't really have much. I made it to the range on Saturday. Was sighting in an AR that I'm going to sell. So, because, well, I don't really need it. And that's, about
You just
it.
want to have one last time at the range with your AR before you got rid of it, right?
No, actually, I'm gonna sell it to a friend of mine. So, in that case, I wanted to make sure it was working good for him. That's how friends are. We're nice to people. You guys wouldn't know since you're not friends, so whatever.
What all of my make-believe friends all of my make-believe friends think I'm awesome. So
Yeah, okay. And how many personalities?
Usually someone with a voice like that's telling me not to smoke anything.
my make-believe friend Rashesh says y'all looking all kiss his hindquarters.
Uh-huh.
He's from India. It doesn't translate well. I did absolutely nothing because I was still homebound, but I did manage to take some pictures of my high point pistol with the $100 bill grips and the patch I got from Kit Fox, the high point $100 bill patch. Then I posted it all over Facebook and made some people lose their minds because I own a high point because it makes haters hate harder.
I love that patch, though.
Dude, the patch broke the internet. It shut her website down. It took another.
Did it?
Yeah. She put out that she was going to have the patch. It's a high point. If you guys want to see it, you can either go to her website or go to Simon Says Train on Instagram. And it's a $100 bill high point patch. Well, everybody talks crap about high points. Then, about 3 minutes after the sale started, and the website crashed. Like I was able to get on the page and get it in my cart, and the whole thing pooped the bed.
So you're saying you broke the internet, Tony?
I think I was.
He's saying you pooped the bed.
You
Yeah.
broke the internet.
No,
Way to go.
I'm not you, Grandpa Jones. But it took another half an hour to get her website back up so she could keep selling these. So as much crap as people talk about High Point, it seems there's a lot of fans out there about something about it. Sean said a friend of his coined this term, recreational hate.
That's right.
A lot of it's something for them that just hate on, because no matter what you pay for your pistol, right? So there you go.
Well, I can honestly say that I'm jealous of them more as a patch creator over everyone else in the industry. And I feel perfectly fine saying that. I really like their work. And every time they come out with something, it's like, damn it! Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I can see that.
But
Well,
let's be honest.
they do commissions, I think, with like tactical solutions. So they've done a little Ruger Mark III, or I guess 2245 pistol. They've done a takedown patch.
Dude, that patch is so cool.
Where the barrel separates from the stock on the little patch deal, and it's like, man, innovation. I love it.
Yeah, and truthfully, dude, Osprey patch or suppressor just separates.
Yeah.
Nice.
Why not?
Yeah.
Trademark.
Hey, they innovated it.
Yeah.
They innovated it. Great.
No,
hey, thanks.
Next time I go to a show, I'm gonna want to track her down and trade her some patches and shake her hand.
She seems like a really cool person. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I agree with you. What I did in guns, I finished my dad's AR, and so it's got Midwest Industries handguard on there, and I gave him some of my handguard Industries flip-up sights because those weren't sitting on anything at the moment. Hooked them up with a flashlight, a primary arms flashlight, Magpul stuff. I did get the enhanced AR-15 mag release. So I've got this right now attached to my Rock River. Ooh, Rock River. Unfortunately, I have 2 Rock Rivers, and I was kind of proud of them at one point, and now I think I'm gonna have to like paint over or put something over the roll mark so I don't get made fun of for having a. I'm gonna wait like in a week or in a month. Nobody will remember what Rock
No one
River
will remember
did
at all.
Springfield's spinning pretty hard right now. Their PR person's working overtime. But anyway, this enhanced mag release I put on here, it does stick out like we thought, past the little bevels. So for on the air, I was showing Chad earlier, but if I take something flat, like these Pantone swatches, and I push it up against the side of the AR, it will pop the mag out. But like you've got the brass deflector is like right above it. So the thought of you like trying to clear a house and rubbing up really close against like a wall or door frame, it's not likely that you're going to hit it.
How much pressure does it take?
The same amount of pressure as without the lever. It uses the same spring. All you're doing is just popping out the button, or unscrewing the latch from the other side from the button, replacing the button with the Magpul, so it just, got 2 new threaded points to attach this guy to. So it's really easy to install. It just gives you a little extra.
You really have to screw up to have it accidentally pop your magazine out.
Right, but when I'm holding it, I take my finger off the trigger. It gives me just a lot more real estate to push down and drop the magazine. So I like it. I'm not clearing houses with this gun. This is my kind of precision build, so I was more shooting from a bench or a prone position. But yeah, so I'll be doing a review on that. But I got that on my AR, got it on my dad's AR, and I am going to be giving one away on this show. So that's a good moment to talk about that real quick. All you got to do is leave us an iTunes review and leave a number as far as your guess at how many Magpul t-shirts I own. We've already had one guess on Instagram or not on Instagram, on iTunes, and they guessed incorrectly, but it was a hilarious remark. He said, or that person said, he guesses I have 10 filthy, sweaty Magpul shirts, saying he bets I don't wash them, which I spit up my whiskey actually when I read that.
Yeah, don't wash them. He's never worn them. They're all under plastic.
They lose their value when you wash them.
Yeah, worst t-shirts ever.
What
did you see? I saw Magpul had a new video of their new hats.
I did not see those.
Oh, I've got videos for everything.
Honestly, I did order some of their board shorts in for my honeymoon, but they didn't conceal my thunder very well, so I'm sending them back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do a review on those board shorts because that'd be stupid, and impulse. I don't know why I echo.
I think it's from Tony.
Got it.
Whoa, hello.
I got it. I shut it down.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, and my dad needed an optic, so I bought him an EOTech 512 because he really wanted absolute co-witness, not lower third, and I kind of wanted him to have absolute as well. And with his eyesight, he wanted something that was really easy to pick up, not like a small dot. So he liked EOTechs. I've had a couple in the past. I got rid of them all. So I just bought him a 512, and it sits low enough for the sights to be absolute. So he really likes that setup so far.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So that's what I did.
Cool.
Yeah. Kind of feels weird buying an EOTech when everyone's trying to get rid of theirs because they missed the deadline for sending it back in.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Unless you're going to be like jumping out of freaking planes and landing in the sub-Saharan Africa. I mean, you know.
Yeah. We're not going to be fighting any battles on the planet of Hoth against the Empire, so we're not worried about that.
No, the internet said they suck. So you need to
Therefore
get rid
they
of them along with your Rock River and 40 cows dead. And oh my God.
So send all your stuff that you don't want to the Firearms Insider.
No, to diversityshoot.com. diversityshoot.com, and we'll have really cool raffles giving away Rock River Arms, Springfield Armory Saints, and
high
all
points.
Your EOTechs.
No, he'll keep the high points.
Lots of high points.
And give high points away. Stop it. Nobody will
tell. I did also attach a top rail to my Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. So now I have a red dot on top of my revolver because I kind of wanted one. That's a really accurate gun. But the only thing is the front sight blade is just kind of thick and is not intuitive to shoot or conducive to shooting at 50 yards and beyond. So I wanted to add an optic to it and see just how far I could push it. So if I can ring steel at 100 yards or get good groups at 100 yards with a red dot on that 357, I'll be kind of pleased. I thought Tony would be more excited because he's got a 686 too, but I didn't really get a rise out of him.
No, what I was going to ask is what kind of groups do you get at 100 with it now?
Like, we're probably within an 8-inch circle.
All right, cool.
I just love that gun. I mean, I ring steel at 100 yards, shooting it upside down with my pinky.
Okay. Did anybody tell you that's not the real way? Okay. You know they're shooting it wrong, right?
They did it on Top Shot, so that just means that all the professionals need to be proficient with their firearms upside down with their pinkies.
Yeah, I do love that. I'm going to shoot it upside down with my pinky. Okay, Annie Oakley, go ahead and knock it out there.
Hey,
Linkster.
Next.
It's a fun party trick. All right, so now we're going to get on with the announcements, then get on with talking about
me?
Who?
Yeah. What about you? Oh, yeah.
You didn't do anything to guns this week. We're just going to skip you.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't do jacking guns. I did nothing. And if anybody's looking, I changed my picture from my ugly mug to my to this nice little target that I shot this afternoon. I took a 2-day long-range precision course for rifles. Duh. No, I was out there Saturday zeroing in my Ruger Precision, and I noticed that when I dropped the scope or a silencer on it, it dropped the freaking point of impact by almost 2 feet. So I went out there Monday and we zeroed him. Yeah, I know, it's stupid. I'm like, what the heck? So we get out there Monday, do the class. So we go to the range, zeroed in 100. Okay, take it out to 200. I'm doing shot, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, and then in the middle. It's like, what the heck? So there were 2 instructors teaching the class, and then 2 instructors that work for the company, Florida Firearms, that were actually in the class. Next thing I know, they're all over looking at my gun. They find out there's some wobble. The freaking forend came loose. Next thing you know, screws are coming out. Loctite's getting applied to screws. Screws are going back in. Boom, gun's now solid. So he pushed that thing to 200, 300, 400, and that target there is 500 yards that was shot by me this afternoon. Of course, prone position with my Ruger Precision with a Vortex scope on there. The first three shots are the ones that are lined up nice and neat. Boom, 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 right off that first ring. Then we were switching off, sniper or a shooter spotter, and he goes, "Yeah, you got a world-class grip going on." I'm like, "Well, great, you just jinxed me." Then I hit the one right above the bullseye, right next to that number 10, and then right below. I'm like, Great. You just jinxed me. Thank you. I was doing a nice little group, which was those first 3 shots are less than 5 inches. So that's sub MOA at 500 yards, which, the Ruger Precision is way better than me. I mean, it can definitely outshoot me right now. But no, I had a great time.
Yeah, I'm thinking that shot right at 12 is probably breathing.
Well, yeah, you figure 500 yards. I mean, you hiccup, you breathe, you do anything, you're off.
Yeah.
Blinked.
No, I mean, you have, for people who, of course, listening, you have 3 shots in right at the 10 ring at 7, 8, between 7 and 8, you have 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have 1 lower at the 7 o'clock or so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pulled in the 9 ring. And then you have 1 right above the 12 center of the 10 ring.
And that the bullseye basically is 3 inches in diameter.
Now, so what ammo were you using?
I was using Hornady 168 match grade.
Okay.
We're not talking the cheap 155 grain or the cheap stuff you buy from South America. This is like Hornady, $2 a round almost.
My thing is the group isn't so far off that you go, what the heck were you doing? It could be everything from your breathing, your trigger control, wind, to even a difference in ammo slightly that will change that impact.
But I mean, I think since the last time I shot more than 200 yards was almost 3 years ago, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Especially what I really should have done is when he said, "Oh, you've got a world-class group there." Okay, I'm done. Do those first 3 shots. Boom, I'm done. That's sub MOA. Have a nice day. Go home. Rock on. Have a good drink. Have a pint.
Well,
toast myself as what a great shooter I am.
It was a long time between the last time you shot long distance or any distance. The other thing is production rifle, production ammo.
And that's the thing. There was a guy, the guy I was paired with, we were swapping up. He has a Ruger Precision, but he swapped the barrel off to an upgraded barrel, and he was using this really, really great ammo, which I want to say is $2 plus a round. And he was drilling them right in the center. But I mean, this guy, he shoots every single day. He's got the MOA, first focal plane scope, blah, 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 with, again, an upgraded barrel. But
don't compare yourself to anybody else. Compare yourself to yourself. No, I'm not saying you're doing it, but a lot of people do. They compare themselves to other people at the range, and I'm like, you might not have that time, you might not have that money. Look,
the inclination drive.
Yeah, because Sean and I entered a contest, 200 yards, iron sights only, at range 14, and old dudes came out,
and they probably smoked you.
They had their pet rifles with their pet hand loads, and these guys are shooting like 2 sub 2-inch groups at 200 iron sights. And I'm like, Sean used his Bushmaster AR, and I used my bolt action M1917 infield.
Nice.
So yeah, we got spanked. Still finished top 10, but we got spanked.
I mean, for what I've done and what I've done in the past, and I'm not a great shooter. And when I did that, I figured, I'll take that group. It's a respectable, especially the first 3 rounds. The first 3 rounds is under 3 inches, which is sub MOA 500. That's 500 yards. That's not 100 yards. So MOA at 500 yards is 5 inches. Because because the MOA becomes bigger as you go out further in distance.
Well, truthfully, and it's not linear. I mean, people act as if it is, but it's not. But yeah, just keep practicing, having fun, man, because, I mean, it's just the sense of accomplishment, because it's you challenging yourself and the elements, and you trying to make something work that a lot of people never shoot out to 500 yards. And it is different. Even when you shoot reduced size targets, let's say at 100, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Because we, of course, Marine Corps, we shot and qualified at 500 yards, 500 meters, iron sights with AR-15s with standard 55 grain ammo. It's freaking awesome when you do that. I mean, so it just is. But you're having some of the best training in the world for shooting like that.
And you know, some of the guys took the class for former Army snipers and, you know, really good shooting guys. I'm sort of going, you know, the typical sniping class is what, 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, depends on what
it
service.
encompasses, you know, stalking and getting up on your prey or whatever, you know, all that other stuff. But I mean, it's 5 to 6 weeks of shooting, you know, a couple hundred rounds every day. This is just, you know, maybe 100 rounds over the last 2 days.
Yeah,
You know, so I feel pretty good.
you should. It's awesome.
So, yeah. So what I am going to do though next week, and now that I've got my my forend Loctited onto my Ruger Precision, I'm going to try taking the muzzle brake off of it and seeing if I can run my silencer on it now.
Oh, so you figured everything out. You shot a group that's respectable. Now you're going to go changing stuff. Great
Yeah,
idea.
why not?
Yeah.
Let
Duh.
us know how that goes.
Well, I mean, the thing I like the most about these guys is it was all the two paid instructors and the two instructors that were just taking the course as regular students. They're all over my gun going, okay, what the heck's wrong with this guy? How come he can't shoot a good group at 200? And how come this thing's just acting stupid? And as soon as I figured out what the problem was, boom, you know, they were all fixing it. It's like, oh, okay. You know, it's a really good group of people.
Well, that's one of the things, and I'm going to just say it as a trainer. People go, well, again, my granddaddy taught me how to shoot. That's great. But when you go to a class, you meet other people and you get that free input of that life experience. Your granddaddy taught you to shoot and you didn't put Loctite on your rings, you know what I mean, on the screws.
Mm-hmm.
All that could happen, and it'll take you all day to figure it out because you're one person and you're looking at it from worst case scenario, not one of the simplest things that you didn't put Loctite on a screw. But when you have that experience, all that time was saved because people know what to look for. That's
But,
just
I mean,
part
at the
of
same time,
learning.
though, I never would have thought the screws would have backed out of the forend, and I never would have thought that. Okay, yeah, so the screws backed out of the forend. The scope is mounted to the rings. The rings are mounted to the pick rail. The pick rail is mounted to the upper receiver, which is mated to the lower receiver. I never would have thought that would have affected my point of impact. Guess what? It does.
Well,
Anything
yeah,
this will affect your point of impact.
yeah,
And when you're dealing, and again, like we said, if you're dealing with 500 yards,
it makes a difference.
Eyelash is a foot, you know.
And I mean, I try to say it, and people think, oh, you just want me to take your class. No, I want you to take any class. Because sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
They have a fancy name called Dunning-Kruger effect, but I think that's how to pronounce it. I think I read it somewhere. But it's just, you don't know what you don't know. Go ahead, take a class, save up some dough. I mean, we have reduced classes. We've reduced the price on our classes just to get more people in because we want more people to learn. We don't want a price to be the handicap. You know what I mean? And a lot of local instructors, because a lot of people, especially ones that listen to podcasts like this, all think they somehow need to train Chris Costa. No, you need to go to your local instructor. Again, find out what you don't know. You're going to drop $1,600 on 2 days with a guy between ammo, hotel, gas, food, all that stuff to learn you shouldn't have been in this class. That's going to be highly embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So take a local class, find out what you don't know, and figure out what you have to work on. It's like, checking out community college first before you go to the big university. Find out what you stink at and then work on it.
Yep.
Okay, I've said my piece. We can go on to the next subject.
Oh, and the next subject is
No, we gotta get to the announcements.
No announcements.
Yes.
no.
The good
All right.
part.
So, bandwidth sponsor for the podcast is Patriot Patch Co. So we got the patch of the month. You still time to pick up a May Pushing Daisies patch for the patch of the month. It's a flower pot with some hollow points blooming. So $15 a month and you get a unique patch, limited edition, limited run, and a unique sticker to go with it. So we've only got a few more of the May ones, and then we're going to switch up probably in the next week or two to the June release. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to get one of these flower pot ones before it's too late, you got to jump on that now. I did add a new patch to the pre-order page just today, and this is the Till Death Do Us Part morale patch. So I don't know where Jake got the idea, but he wanted to do a morale patch with a wedding.
Inspiration from you?
Who?
From you?
What about me? Oh crap! I'm getting married this week.
Yeah.
5 days or something.
Yeah. I know.
Dude, really? Wow, is
Yeah.
that quick?
Wow. Yeah.
Man.
Yep, I know. This is the last podcast I'll do as a free man. The
Oh,
next
you
one,
poor fool.
I know. So it's got a bride and a groom on top of a wedding cake, like a cake topper. The groom is rocking a Scar 17 while the bride is rocking, I think, when they Glock 43s, Glock 26s. Use your imagination. She's holding some pistols. And then the cake says "Till death do us part." It's got some flowers and frosting and all that. It's gorgeous. So if your battle buddy is your wife or your husband, this might be the perfect patch to get them. Yeah, it's wedding season, so I guess a lot of people could consider this applicable. I wanted to do a groomsman patch because that makes sense because everyone's got to get groomsman gifts if they're not stingy. And you're going to have to buy like 3 or more depending on how many groomsmen you got. So bam, they're marketing genius right there. But we're going to start with this one first and see how much demand there is for it. So there's that. We've also got the blood type patches still available for pre-order, and the law enforcement sheriff patches. So we got sheriff and police. They're about 10.5 inches long, and they're designed to fit on your tactical vest for positive identification for friendlies. I guess you can also use it if you do role play, LARPing, airsoft, that kind of thing. So that's it for Patriot Patch Co. right at the moment.
Hey, could I say something real quick?
I guess so.
About Patriot Patch. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and when people do advertisements, I really don't go on their website. It's really worth going on the website to see what we're talking about every week, because when you got my cheap butt talking about buying patches, you might want to look at it. I'm just saying.
Yep,
That's
so
all. That's just my endorsement.
Yeah, just if you haven't already, just open up your Googles and go to patriotpatch.co and check out what I do or what we do. It's a joint effort. I come up with the patches and he tells me when they're stupid. It's a team effort. So catch me and Chad at TriggerCon in Western Washington on July 27th through the 30th. 27th is going to be range day. We are going to go to that. 28th through the 30th, we'll have a booth set up at the event. So we'll be selling Patriot Patch stuff. So if you are one of our Washington listeners, we do very much look forward to meeting you there. The listener support program, if you go to firearmsradio.tv and click on the pledge page, you can pledge support to any of your favorite podcasts on the Firearms Radio Network. If you pledge money to this one, those funds go directly into buying new gear for us to review. And depending on the size of pledge that you make, you get a sizable reward in the shape of Patriot Patch swag. So the more money you pledge to us, the more swag you get in return. So we do highly appreciate that. It keeps the lights on and keeps us in new gear. If you're shopping Amazon, we encourage you to use the affiliate link, firearmsradio.tv/Amazon, to complete your Amazon shopping. So I already mentioned that Magpul giveaway. Leave us an iTunes review and guess how many Magpul t-shirts I own, clean or dirty. Doesn't really matter. It's the same number. So I'm going to try and wear like a different Magpul shirt every week, and you should be able to figure out how many I own after a certain amount of episodes. So yeah, if you look at iTunes, there's only one right now. There's only one guess. I think it was left on the 10th of May. I have to look at it. They guessed 10, and that's wrong. So there's your hint. So the winner gets an enhanced AR-15 magazine release from Magpul. I'm going to send that right to you. So Black Bag Resources, coupon codes. Right now we've got worst coupon code ever, and that gets you $1 off anything, $20 or more, and that expires at the end of the month, May 31st. He did just add some sweet stuff to the clearance page. So if you're gonna buy anything, I just save $1. Why not? The other coupon code, which will go on for an eternity, is Simon Says Train, and that'll get you free shipping on any order because that's going to be directly donated to Tony and the 2A4E diversity shoot, and you will not get it. So buy A2 pistol grips, D10s. See, what else was I going to think? Actually, you know, I just saw somebody has like an M-lock attachment, so that you can attach your extra grip to, so you can have the same pistol grip on your receiver as you do your vertical foregrip on your handguard. I thought that was kind of cool. I
don't care.
You could have your AR covered in A2 grips.
I mean, truthfully, we're trying to build an AR for the diversity shoot. And we're going to start asking for, letting people know what we have so they can try to donate it. We're really trying to build one to just, give credit to the industry. And buy one of the lower parts kits on Sean's website and donate it to Tony. There you go. And I just looked up LARPing. Oh, my goodness. I did not know what it was.
I said it like how many weeks in a row, and you're just now looking at it?
Yep.
Okay.
Live action role play.
I thought it was some 50 Shades of Grey stuff, and I want to look it up and have that in my history. But now I think this is more embarrassing having it in my history. Just say it.
Yep. So yeah, that's it for the announcements. So we're not going to do a product review this week, but we are going to talk about 4 suppressors that just sort of came out. Some of them are released at SHOT Show, and some actually a tease at SHOT Show, released at NRA Show, or otherwise just came out between now and then. So we're talking about the AAC Halcyon. I don't know how to pronounce that. I probably should have looked that up on like a video.
I would say Halcyon, but
Halcyon.
That's what I would say.
We're gonna talk about the Ruger Silent SR integrally suppressed barrel for the Ruger 1022 takedown. We're gonna talk about the Daniel Defense DD Wave, which is making waves, pun intended. And we're actually going to talk about the Black Aces Po' Boy 5.6 because that's probably the most cost-efficient can I've ever seen on the market. And for you cheap guys out there, you're really going to want to stay till the very end and listen to that one. Frugal, thrifty, stingy. Anyway, so the first one, the AAC Halcyon, whatever. So this is a new can from Advanced Armament Corporation. So what it is a rimfire suppressor, but it's got some improvements on it. You can take it apart and clean it. Oh, here God bless their hearts. So pronounced Halcyon. Okay, Halcyon. All right, so you can go from long to short in seconds by just easily disassembling it. With no tools required, so you can shorten the overall lengths. So at its longest configuration, it's 5.2 inches. At its shortest configuration, that's 3.4 inches. The weight is 6 ounces. I'm assuming that's fully assembled. It's 1 inch in diameter. It is finished with Cerakote. It's got a sound reduction of 42 decibels, and it's a direct thread with a 1/2 by 28 insert, and it's made of titanium, 17.4 pH, and 70-75 aluminum. So it uses titanium K baffles that are indexed, and so that's really what you want in a rimfire suppressor, something that you can take apart and clean. The baffles are indexed, so you can put them together the right way, because those index points are going to line up. If you wanted to shorten it for like your little pistol, you could do that too. If you wanted, a slightly lower decibel rating, but it's 22, man. If you're shooting subsonic 22, even with the shortest configuration, it's going to make it even more quiet. Definitely hearing safe. So the question is, do you really want to spend $449.99 MSRP on a 22 long rifle can?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Well, you got to remember it's also rated for a 5.7. So
and full auto too.
Right.
Because everybody owns a full auto 22 long rifle pistol or rifle or whatever the hell.
because you're looking at, you know, granted it has K baffles, which are nice because they come apart. They are harder to clean than some of the other styles of 22 suppressors.
Wait a minute. If you look at the baffles, the way they interlock together, and it looks like when they interlock together, they basically self-contain, or they basically wrap around, form another
Right.
layer inside to make it easier to take apart.
Easy to get out of the tube, but they're still K baffles. They're a pain in the butt to clean.
Can you just take it apart and drop all the baffles into a supersonic cleaner?
You can't.
What I'm seeing right now is the baffles lock together, and it looks like they lock together in a way that like Silencer Co. did for theirs, where they've got the inner layer to keep the 22 gunk.
Yeah,
basically the lead and junk and carbon inside the baffles. Yes, I mean, because I've got a monocore 22 and a regular K baffle that doesn't have the inner.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Both of those, after a day at the range, are a pain to take apart and clean. In fact, I did one that I took it to the range, had fun. The monocore, I took it to the range, had fun, took it to the range again, had fun, took it to the range again. Then said, oh, let's clean this. I had to actually take the whole suppressor, throw it in the ultrasonic bath for 5 minutes before the gunk was loose enough to actually take it apart. This, I'm thinking it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
My opinion.
You know, and I'm looking at it as, okay, is it worth the $450? Probably, because it is titanium.
It's the going rate.
Yeah, you're not going to wear them out. It weighs a whole 6 ounces, which, you know, an aluminum one's going to be light too, but the titanium in this helps with your being 5.7 rated. Put it on a 22 mag, a 17 HMR, you know, any of those. Some rimfire suppressors are slightly larger in diameter. This is a 1-inch diameter. So that's basically, it's the same as a bull barrel for just about anything.
It's about the going rate.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll fit in the tactical solutions. What do they call that? It's 11 inches and it expands out with the
SBX.
Yes. I should know that because I have 2 of them. But anyways, you know, I mean, it looks pretty cool. What I like about it too is just like the Silencer Co. Omega Ks or the rugged suppressors, where you can just take off the last 3 baffles and basically get a shorter package.
Yes, that's, you know, and you're paying for that in the price too.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you got 2 cans in one.
Basically, you've got one that's louder and one that's
now, the only thing I found is I've got a Smith & Wesson M&P 22, and I run that thing with subsonic ammo. And in the M&P 22, with the suppressor, subsonic ammo, it is dead dog quiet. I mean, it is whisper quiet. The problem is there's not enough momentum to cycle the action. So you have to rack it every time you shoot it.
Yeah.
But the weird part is I put it in a Ruger 1022, silence with the subsonic ammo, and it will cycle the action. So I'm guessing there's just not enough built-up back pressure to cycle the action in the M&P 22 pistol.
They're both blowback, right?
Yeah, they're both direct blowback, no gas or any kind of that.
Yeah, I would just the weight of the carrier, I guess.
Whatever, it is what it is, and that's what I found from my experience. Your experience may differ, but this does look pretty darn cool.
Yeah, if I run in my 2245, if I run subsonics with a can, it won't cycle it either. But you can run standard velocity stuff, and because it's
all day long,
a short barrel, it's not going supersonic anyway.
Well, you've got enough pressure to cycle the action.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, and the thing is with this in the shroud or whatever you call it, however they're designing the K baffles where they interlock to keep all the crud inside the K baffles, it will definitely make it easier to take these cans apart, to clean them, and to put them back together. Because I can tell you, with the 2 cans I've got that don't have this, I go to the range, I come home, first thing I do is I tear them apart. Even if I'm not going to clean them that day, I tear them apart so they can come apart, so I can clean them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And as far as the full auto, well, unless you're running, I don't know, one of those Surefire. Let me tell you something. The Surefire stocks, the 1022 stocks with the Surefire
slide fire.
with slide fire stocks with the Surefire shortened barrels with those cans, they're freaking fun, especially at the range. Basically simulating full auto. Unless you got one of those, I mean, I'm not really aware of very many 22 full auto receivers out there.
Right.
Most of the time, it's people that have conversion kits for, if they have an actual M16 converted.
I mean, it's cool to say it's full auto rated. But as far
or
as
even just if you're running the AR with one of those binary triggers, which is the faster rate of fire.
If you got 22, like an MP22 with the tactical, I'm thinking tactical solutions tonight. What's that one? They've got the bump fire trigger, like the Bumsky trigger or something like that.
Oh yeah,
I'm having a brain problem. Sorry.
It's all right.
Anyway, but as far as the 5.7, I haven't tried it with a 5.7 pistol because you'd have to send it out. Now I don't know if I'd really want to try it with the PS90, even in a short barrel configuration with an 11.3 inch barrel. I'd be kind of hesitant just because of the pressures involved. But as far as the pistol, in order to get the pistol, you have to send your barrel out to have it threaded so you could run it. But I mean, I guess you could do it. I think just my opinion, just for the pressures involved, I'd probably prefer to run it off a regular full size 30 caliber suppressor. Just my opinion.
Yeah, and you don't have you don't have to worry about the 5.7 letting it up like a regular rimfire will.
No. No, because I run I've got a PS90 that I SBR, and I run that with my with a direct thread suppressor all the time, and it is fun. But the weird part is people sit there, oh, I don't need to wear hearing protection. Yeah, you do. You still got the supersonic crack with the 5.7 round. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, next.
All right.
I'm sorry. Next, Tony out in the dust on this one.
Yeah, why is Tony here?
Yeah,
he's in New Jersey. What's he gonna have to say?
Well,
he's ignoring us.
He's taking a nap.
He's here because he's doing the right thing, trying to fight for rights in New Jersey, and this is one of the rights he wants to fight for.
Oh, you suck up. You don't fight his battles.
I'm just trying to help him out. He was
Tony
sleeping.
Does not help, okay? Tony can trash us just as good on his own as with your help. But please don't help the man.
Hey.
No, I'm just sitting here listening, and if I have a question, I mean, a lot of people.
He'll raise his hand. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is this, though. There are lots of people that live in states that are allowed to have suppressors, and a lot of them don't even know they can. So maybe one of my ignorant questions might answer something for somebody that doesn't. Because I know if I don't know what I'm talking about, at least with this, I'm going to ask you guys.
Please.
Yes.
Now, I saw this one, though, the Ruger Silent SR.
Oh, God, this thing is gorgeous.
Okay. Yep. My whole thing is I want a Ruger takedown. I want a Ruger 1022 takedown. I went to buy one, and that's when I ended up buying that CZ 455 Ultra Lux because it was about the same money. And truthfully, it was a better 22, higher quality 22. But this is the front end of a Ruger takedown with an integrated suppressor already attached. And it just looks so cool. So I watched them break it down because I was at the show and I was hustling and really doing business mostly. But one of the guys I was with videotaped their breakdown, how to take this down, how to clean it. And
isn't it easy?
It's very, very easy because, again, it's the takedown of the barrel on a Ruger 1022. Takedown.
There's like one tool they use to loosen it up, and the whole thing pops apart, right?
Well, it's one thing to pull a core out, to stack of baffles out, and then you stick the same tool back in, and you undo the baffle stacks themselves. So one to take the baffle out of the suppressor, and then another one to loosen the baffle.
I mean, literally, the guy standing there, he showed me on the showroom floor. It's like pop, 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 pop. It's like crap. You don't even. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Gorgeous. Well, let's talk the specifics about this. Basically, you take your 1022 takedown, you buy this, you wait a year, you pay the $200 tax stamp, and then you put this on a 1022 takedown, and you shoot it, and it's integrally suppressed. Right?
Right.
Yep.
And if you want another stock for your takedown, you're screwed. But besides that, it works.
Well, fine. I mean, yeah, okay. Well, here's the deal, though. These things will come out. And wait about 3 or 4 months, and I'm sure Magpul will come out with a four in stock for this, because basically all this is it's almost, it's not double the size, but you've got the regular barrel with the regular dimension. Then there's almost another barrel below it. Because I was talking to the guy and I looked at it, and what you've got is from the back, from the basically the breech end, there's an 11.25 inch, 11.5 inch barrel, and then from 11.5 inch all the way to the end is basically the suppressor part. Right. And there's basically a double core suppressor, where instead of just having a regular thin tube, that below it, that extra expansion area you see below it, that's part of the suppressor.
Yeah, I mean, like, the baffles are like figure 8 shapes, yeah, sort of.
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this thing takes it down to 113 decibels with standard velocity ammunition, which is pretty daggum quiet for a 22.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw this, I'm looking at it going, dear God, this is freaking gorgeous. I said, I really want one, but the only problem I have with this, you got to buy it. That's another $600, $650 plus a $200 tax stamp, plus a 1-year wait for something that you can only use on a Ruger 1022 rifle. That's the 1022 takedown rifle. That's the only gripe I have about this. Is the same thing like with the Silencer Co Maxim 9. You can only use that on the Silencer Co Maxim 9. You can't use that. You got all that weighting involved, and you're locked into one particular firearm you can use it on.
Right,
and
but it's cool. Absolutely.
Well, also the Silencer Co Maxim 9. The Silencer Co Maxim 9 has a trigger pull of a staple gun with a bad trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can take that apart and file it down. Anyways, but will there be aftermarket parts made for this? Yes. Magpul. I went to their booth. They have a really nice backpacker version for the 1022. It's pretty daggum sweet. I can promise you, these things start selling like hotcakes. Oh, hey, guess what? Magpul's got the backpacker version with the 1022 integrally suppressed 1022 takedown integrally suppressed barrel. Boom, here you go.
And now Brian will have to buy one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, slow down a little bit, bro.
I'm sorry.
That was nice. I liked it.
No, wait a minute, hold on. Here's the problem, Brian. If you're going to buy something, you better buy it now, because after next week, you're going to have to go, honey, can I please buy this gun? Honey, can I please buy this silencer? Honey, can I? Mama, may I? Mama, may I? Mama, may I? Buy it now, or you are a free man.
Well, I already did that last year with the M4 2000. I'm still waiting on that. That was my last free man purchase.
Oh, you poor fool!
That, and before they changed the trust things with the fingerprints and the whatnot.
All I can say is thank God I'm not married to Bridget.
Right.
But no,
well, if you want the flexibility of a traditional suppressor, get a Tactical Solutions threaded barrel for your takedown, and then get whatever 22 can you want, and you have all that freedom. But this is for the people that, it honestly saves you money by buying the suppressor and integrated with the barrel, because you're not buying a Tactical Solutions barrel and the suppressor and all the extra jazz. So.
I'm not going to argue. Is this cool? This to me is cool beyond. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's not the coolest thing I've ever seen, but it's pretty darn cool. And if they can give you the 112 decibel rating, freaking phenomenal. And the design is really, really interesting, because you've got basically a double expansion chamber. But again, the only problem is with the way our current laws are, you basically are buying a suppressor for a dedicated suppressor for a dedicated gun. Now, again, are there people that do that? Yeah, I go to the range all the time. In fact, the rifle class I took, 2 of the people that were there had suppressors on their guns, and they basically told me they were dedicated suppressors on their guns. The suppressors never leave the guns. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, this is the same thing. I mean, is this something I'd like to have? Absolutely. I think it'd be cool to have. Let's just don't get into it without knowing what you're getting into.
Right.
But I mean, the baffle stack is original. I don't think I've seen a baffle stack like this before. Now, again, this is what I've seen. I'm sure somebody will come, oh, so-and-so designed this, 5 years ago. Okay, fine, whatever. But I mean, it's almost like a double baffle stack,
Yeah, so it should be more efficient.
Yeah, to keep it the same width, but I'd imagine you probably have a greater expansion volume.
Yeah,
Because that's
I'm
really all
thinking.
silencers do is they allow the gases to expand and cool before they exit the muzzle.
and the more volume you have, the quieter it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think with some CCI Quiet 22 or subsonics, or even if you don't mind, having to rack the bolt every time using CB longs, oh my gosh, it's going to be quiet.
This would be like mouse fart quiet right here.
Oh, quieter than that.
I mean,
yeah, I want a takedown 1022 now.
And like I said, I can promise you, if this thing takes off, which it probably will, wait a couple months and you'll see Magpul and a bunch of other places. Magpul will probably take their backpacker stock, because I was looking at the backpacker stock for the 1022, the one that you can take it apart and like clip it together and throw it in your backpack.
Yeah.
They will. I looked at that and said, it wouldn't take very much finagling for them to come out with just the fore end that would made up to this, and you can still keep you can have a backpacker for the silent SR ISB.
Yep.
Fantastic. Cool. I love it when companies come out with stuff like this.
All right, so staying on the innovation train, Daniel Defense has come out with a suppressor, their first suppressor to the market. It's called the DD Wave, and it's 3D printed, believe it or not. So it's direct metal laser sintered. And this is making, it's a pun, it's making a lot of waves because, it's Daniel Defense, and it's kind of out of left field. But the fact that the material is being used, it's not necessarily a faster way to make a suppressor, it's just a different way. So it's using direct metal laser sintering. It uses Inconel, which people have used Inconel suppressors before. And it takes 7 days to print just one suppressor. But they do have a couple printers going at the same time. And it does make use of their unique QD mount. So it's designed to prevent carbon lock, which we talked about before, when you get a bunch of carbon crud in there and you can't even take it off your gun. So it's supposed to use no tools. The serialized part is the base and the mount, which a lot of suppressor manufacturers are doing, because if you have a baffle strike or you need to have something repaired, you don't have to jump through the hoops of sending a serialized part back to the manufacturer. They can replace it a lot faster and easier, and it's pretty much getting a brand new suppressor at that point.
You have to send a serialized part back, right?
No.
Yeah.
If you've got a baffle strike, you don't have to send them the serialized part. You just send them the body and the baffles.
Well, no, the serialized part is on the body. Unless you've got like a 1022, something that comes apart. I'm assuming this can doesn't come apart, right?
I'm thinking it probably does.
It does.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's how they get away with that. But Rob, I think you're both right. I think if you have to send it in, I think your best bet is actually sending the whole serialized part, and
they'll want to see the whole part, because I don't think they can just send you.
Yeah. If you screw it up bad enough to where they have to replace baffles, usually they'd have to get you a whole new can, which is a whole new serial number. So what I mean to say is, if you had a really bad baffle strike or a blowout or something catastrophic, but the serialized body is fine, they can swap it out without having to make you a new serial number, and you'd be in for a whole new can.
Yeah, as long as you don't mess up the serial number, you're fine.
Yeah.
I've talked to silencer manufacturers, and they all say that as long as you don't mess up the serial number, you're okay.
We sell the barrel as a separate accessory item for $3.99, and then the rifle and
we listening to?
silencer for $8.60.
Tony watching YouTube.
Tony, what are you watching there, brother?
Hey, come on now.
What the heck?
This isn't public radio. Let's get our stuff together. All right, so it's called the Wave because it uses a cascading wave baffle geometry, which is supposed to be effective at attenuating the sound more so than traditional baffle designs. So it's a unique one piece made out of Inconel, and which means it eliminates the need for welds, which are typically considered the weak points of suppressors. So if you had a really bad issue, that's usually where it fails, is at the weld. It's durable 17.4 pH stainless steel muzzle device is what it uses to attach to your AR. So yeah, I guess we're talking about all this, and we didn't even mention what the heck caliber it is. So it's it's 5.56, right? Yeah.
No,
I have no
one of
idea.
the pictures has a 7.62 caliber.
Oh, well, maybe it's both.
I was going to
Normally
say
they make them in both.
it looks like a 30 cal can to me, but by looking at the hole size and stuff. But
this picture must be they've got the 30 cal can on their 5.56.
Yeah.
So that way they're getting the most flexibility out of one can.
And that's what I do. That's what a lot of people that own cans do.
Yeah.
So 30 cal so they can backload it or back use it.
And my understanding with the, by doing the 3D printing laser stuff that they're doing to do this, is even though, like Ryan said, it takes 7 days to do one, they can do geometric shapes that they can't really do on your standard CNC machines, or it takes a lot less work, so to speak. And so they can come up with a more efficient, quieter sounding suppressor in the size constraints they want. How long it'll take for them to start doing this, who knows? But it's really cool because of what they're being able to do with it. And it's by looking at the specifications, it's not like it's anything out of the norm. It's not like it's 18 inches long and like 5 inches around or anything. It's your standard sizes pretty much. So that's a plus.
Yep.
Do you think they'll release the specs on how to print these up for us to print them out by ourselves? Probably not.
No.
Well,
not.
and the thing is to get the direct metal lasers centered,
No, I'm just saying.
Hey, someday maybe, and you don't need them to release it, because if you have one of those machines, I'm sure you're just going to print out your own anyway and Form 1 it.
Because
cool.
It's 100-year-old technology. You can figure out how to make a suppressor. I mean, unless you're just talking about making this particular one. Yeah, I'm sorry about I hit that YouTube thing, but what I was playing was the new Magnum Research 22 when we were talking about 1022s. Magnum Research makes their own version.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they have one now that has integrally suppressed baffle. Let's see what it did, because I think you can buy the rifle and they can send you the rest of it. So you just unscrew the end of the barrel and drop this in, like after the fact. I don't think you have to buy it all at one time, so you can keep shooting your rifle, and then you just get the baffle stack and drop it in.
And so when your tax stamp comes in, you get the rest of it.
Yeah. So you actually get to shoot your gun the entire time. I mean, again, we're still talking dedicated just to being on the Magnum Research gun, but sometimes, especially people that do just shoot 22s all the time, why not have a dedicated one? I was just looking at that, and it just took me a while to find it, and then we went on to this Daniel Defense. Now, the way Daniel Defense builds their stuff, but they had an integrally suppressed 300 blackout already, right?
Right.
So this is just them coming up with something detachable. Did they work with someone else?
Looks like they just made this design off their own. It's a 3D. The key for this is it's a 3D printed suppressor.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about dedicated suppressors, whether you do one integrally suppressed or you do one with like a rifle where you buy a suppressor and you say this suppressor is for this rifle. You'll get, especially if you're doing, consistent shooting, like long distance shooting or just like match shooting or something, you'll get that if you never take the suppressor off the barrel. If you buy the suppressor for this gun, theoretically, you'll get the consistent shots every single time.
Yeah, again, through envy,
this is
I still listen to people talk about suppressors on different podcasts. And they were talking to one guy who, of course, is in the business. And his advice was get the suppressor for the caliber you plan on shooting. They were like, you don't buy a lot of stuff that's one size fits all. Why does somehow when it goes, I know why, but they're like, when it comes suppressors, all of a sudden everybody wants to buy one suppressor that works on every gun from
Yeah,
22 to 300 one mag, and it's like that makes no sense.
But
I know
because of the taxes.
Yeah, it's because of the tax stamp and the weight.
But this right here, I think this thing to me it scores cool points. I mean, number one, it's a printed suppressor. I've not seen any final details about the price point or if they're actually going to release it to the public, but it is really, really cool and a cool idea. And like we were saying earlier, the fact that the serialized part is close to the receiver, that's probably the part that's not going to be blown out during a baffle strike. So if you do have a baffle strike, you send it back to them, they fix it. Or I'm guessing they'll probably just take the whole thing off of it, throw it away, print out a new baffle system, put the serialized number back on the baffle system, send it back to you and say, "Here, Rob, have a good day."
Yeah, pretty much.
I wouldn't think that with something like this, I wouldn't think they take it apart and try to put it back together. A regular suppressor, like a Yankee Hill suppressor or a Silencer Co suppressor, they'll probably actually cut it apart, take the baffles out, put new baffles in, put it back together, weld it up, repaint it, send it back to you and say, "Here, Mr. Cross, have a good day." You know.
Yep.
This one, they'll probably just give you a whole new suppressor system. And the nice thing about a lot of suppressor manufacturers, I know I own Yankee Hill suppressors. I've talked with Silencer Co. and a bunch of others. They usually give you one free oopsie. So if you have that one baffle strike, you send it to them, and they'll be like, "Okay, yeah, okay, here you go. Here's a new suppressor. Have a nice day."
Yeah, but don't be that guy that does it like every month, because that won't fly very well.
Yeah, I know. I'm already on their blackball list, so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
They don't like me.
Well, that's not on their website yet, so I just linked to a Truth About Guns article, but you can just Google it and find out information. But yeah, price point on the DD Wave is $1,147.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ouch.
so you're definitely paying for it, but I mean, if you own a Daniel Defense rifle already, then that's just a drop in the bucket too. I guess I forgot about their ISB, their integrally suppressed 300 blackout. So I guess this is not their first venture into the suppressor industry. I misspoke. All right, so let's talk about a company that's used to rocking the boat with the NFA. Black Aces Tactical. They've made that firearm that's looks like a short barrel shotgun, but it ain't, and it's not an AOW either.
No, it's a firearm.
So it's a firearm. That's it. So they actually, I just found out recently that they are bringing a really inexpensive suppressor to market, and this is called the 5.6 Po' Boy, and it's less than your tax stamp. It's $199. It's $1 less than your tax stamp. So what this is a 5.56 suppressor that they just make very inexpensively, and I imagine make a lot of them because it's faster to produce, and that's what they're bringing to market at this crazy price. So it's 8 inches long, which I mean it's maybe like an extra inch than most 5.56 suppressors nowadays, the modern ones. So that extra length kind of comes from I would say less efficient baffle design. I know with my Eco 9 cannon, that's why it's older, is because it's longer than its modern counterpart because of the baffle design. You need an extra baffle in there. So 8 inches, you're looking at 25 ounces in weight.
So it's heavy.
So it is a heavy can. So I mean, you're going to pay more money for a lighter can, but if you don't care or you work out, then who cares? The decibel rating is 134 decibels, tested with an average 33 decibel reduction on a 16-inch barrel AR-15 and 5.56. 140 is usually the threshold for hearing safe, so it's a little bit below that. I wouldn't necessarily call it pleasant to shoot without earplugs, regardless, but it still seems like it does a pretty good job. It's direct thread stability, so you don't have any disconnect mounts. Completely serviceable by the end user using an AR-15 stock wrench. That's pretty genius because that's like a universal tool that most guys who run AR-15s have a stock wrench. So I like the fact that they made it serviceable with that, because that's usually in your range bag anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see what last thing is before I let these guys start talking again. It is rated for full auto use, and it's capable of handling sustained full auto fire on both 16-inch barrels and a 12-inch barrel. So I think 12 inches is the absolute minimum that they're saying for full auto. If you're shooting single fire, I think you can probably go under that, 10.5 or less.
Yeah, I would guess that it doesn't really, I mean, with having the stainless baffles basically is what it looks like. You're looking at, I would say you could probably run it on pretty short barrels and not have much of a problem. But of course, you also get that with, it's 8 inches long. So even if you're running it on like a 7-inch barrel, it's still sticking out 15 inches. So it's like a normal 16-inch AR or something.
Right.
Yeah, but really, this last one we just looked at from the angle of the fence is 7.6 inches. So really, it's a half-inch difference.
Right.
And 8 ounces and hundreds of dollars.
Yes, there's $800.
Almost $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at this price, you might want to consider picking up more than one if you're confident and you're happy with their construction quality. I mean, you can put one on all of your guns and not even have to worry about switching it out.
I was listening to one of the guys, the guy that came up with that $99 suppressor. Have you guys ever listened to him on We Like Shooting?
I've heard him before on that or something.
He was actually discussing how much it costs to build a titanium suppressor, like material costs. $7. It's $7. You're being charged because they can charge you. If the market opened up and they legalized and got rid of NFA, people go, well, the prices aren't going to go down. Yes, there are. They'll eventually go down because everybody figured out, again, it's a 100-year-old technology for just the most basic suppressor, which I'm thinking this is, right? This is not like some super advanced material.
No, it's not.
Nope.
So my thing is, and again, I'll go into the whole why in the heck would you have a 5.56 with a suppressor on it, since the round itself breaks the sound barrier. But fine. It's like, it doesn't cost that much. Everybody else is kind of sort of ripping you off because they can't.
I'll say that in that rifle class I took, most of the people were shooting 308, and you could tell the two people that had their rifle silenced because it was so much more pleasing when they shot their rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so much nicer, so much more pleasing, so much easier on the ears, even though we were all wearing hearing protection. Because again, when I shot mine, it wasn't silenced. You know, the guy down there, you shot his, it was silenced. Guess what? It was a nice tone. It was a nice, I mean, it was so much more considerate of us.
I'll go with that because I have a dedicated 5.56 can and I run it on my SBR. And, you know, SBRs are notoriously loud anyway.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
That's the thing with it is it tones the sound down, even though the subsonic crack is still there. It's going
supersonic.
Yeah,
supersonic.
Supersonic. Sorry, it's going away from you, so it's not.
I get
it's
it.
not a loud of an impulse. And if you're like outside in open areas, the suppressor makes a huge difference. And now, if you're confined like an indoor range, you notice the crack more.
Mm-hmm. You really want to have fun. Run some subsonic ammo through your SBR.
Yeah, it's called a 22 conversion kit.
Nice.
Okay.
I was actually my only experience in shooting a lot of suppressors was being at the Stone Mountain machine gun shoot because I was on the vendor hill where they had all the suppressed weapons from Silence Co. Alpha Dog and Silence Co. Alpha Dog and Yankee Hill. I think those were the three, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think they did. You could buy the ammo there, which is really cool. You could buy ammo or just use what they had. Yankee Hill was giving out free ammo, and the other places they had vendors there you could buy ammo. So some guys are shooting supersonic and some shooting subsonic 300 blackout, and it's not going to rip your ears apart or anything like that. But I mean, I just wondered about it. if I had a suppressor, yeah, I'd want something with 300 blackout, and I'd want to shoot it suppressed because that's the whole point of having 300 blackout. If I lived in a state that allowed stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I would check this out because it didn't cost a lot if there wasn't such a long wait period. So now you'd have to wait 10 months to find out if the $200 suppressor is actually $200 suppressor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely see what they're saying. You know, the technology really hasn't changed in the last 100 years. So, I mean, hell, we could probably. I've actually talked to people who built their own suppressors. It's not that hard to build a suppressor if you have the time. If you want to do it.
You're talking to one now.
Yeah. I Form one on my subgun. It's all stainless, and you know it's not the lightest in the world, but I built it that way, and they're 9mm K baffles, and it's so that they can, you know, hold up to the full auto fire, and if you run it on like a 9mm AR or something, it's hearing safe.
I mean, who cares if it's stainless? I mean, that's cool that you built your own suppressor.
Well, it's on a subgun. It's
loud anyway.
Weight actually helps. You know, the weight on the front
cool
helps.
That you built your own suppressor. I mean, you know, it's a lot different than just Form 1ing an SBR. I mean, that's easy. That's just send the paperwork in. Right. Like, okay, hacksaw the barrel. Let's go.
Yeah, and it was, you know, I just have a little tiny lathe, and you know, once it came back,
you don't need a big machine shop.
No, I mean, it took a lot longer than if I was using a full size lathe, but when they say it's like $7 in materials, they're not really joking. For that one, I think I was like, I'm not buying in bulk. I think the material cost was like $22 for the seamless stainless tube and enough stainless to make the baffles and everything. And then so the main cost was the $200 tax stamp. And you know, it works fantastic for what it does. I mean, granted, it's on an open bolt gun, so it's louder, but I also have a 22 conversion for that gun, and I run it through the same suppressor, the 9mm one, and it's definitely hearing safe even with the open bolt. I mean, that thing is so much fun.
Like 300 AAC Blackout, that was designed to be run subsonic on a suppressed gun, and it is dead dog quiet.
Yeah.
Especially if you're using it on a break open rifle. I've got a friend of mine that's got a AAC 300 AAC Blackout break open rifle with a AAC suppressor on it. I think it's freaking gorgeous to shoot.
Well, and that's the thing, like this Po' Boy suppressor, for what you're getting for the price, you know, it's going to cut the sound. You know, you can still, you know, I didn't even look to see if you can take it apart to clean it.
Probably not.
I don't know. A lot of 5.56 cans you can't.
I've not seen very many rifle cans that you can actually take apart and clean.
You're starting to see more of them, I think.
Yeah, because most of the rifle manufacturers will tell you that our cans are clean as you shoot them, because there's enough pressures and gases going through that they self-clean them, basically.
But the advantage with like the Po' Boy is if it comes apart, then you could run it on a 22 long rifle, even though it's, you know, 5 times the size of a 22 can, because you need to take it apart to get rid of the lighting and everything.
I wouldn't buy a 22 can you couldn't take apart.
Exactly, and I wouldn't run a 5.56 can that you can't take apart on a 22 either, which some people have done.
Well, there's some 5.56 cans where the manufacturer actually tells you do not shoot 22 long rifle through this.
Right.
That's just because they know it's going to get crudded up and gunked up and monked up and
they don't want to have to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's non-serviceable.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, that's new suppressors. We missed quite a few new ones, but I thought those ones were at least noteworthy to talk about.
Well, should we mention that if Black Aces Tactical wants to send me one of these Po' Boy suppressors, I'll pay the tax stamp on it.
That's so generous of you. I'm sure I'll take you up on that.
I was at my gun range this afternoon, and they have a really cool policy in that if I buy a suppressor from them, they'll let me play with it while it's in NFA jail.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll let
See,
me
that's
take it
what-
out and use it until a tax stamp comes in.
Well, if we're sending shout outs to Black Aces Tactical. Yeah, I've been on Black Aces Tactical since they came out with their first shotgun. So yeah, pump shotguns are legal in Jersey any size. So yeah, feel free to send one out. I'll transfer it.
That's right.
Send the Black Aces to his black ass, is what he's saying.
Damn right. And we'll see that the next diversity shoot.
No kidding.
How would that shotgun be classified in Jersey? Would it still be a firearm?
Truthfully, I don't even want to make my head hurt and look into it. Ever since that shotgun came out, the Mossberg firearm, the Shockwave, and that thing came out with 870. Remington came out with theirs. I forgot the name of it already. Because they didn't give it a cool name. All that came out, and I was like, hey, I wonder. And then I was like, I don't really care because it just sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, and people go, you guys in New Jersey give up too easily. And I'm like, give up. You know certain things aren't going to happen here. And people that say you fight for it aren't ones that's actually fighting for it. They're in other states or they're talking smack over the internet. I'm like, you don't know how frustrated it is just to have the simplest thing that the entire industry is excited about. And you know, if you look into it, you might go, okay, according to New Jersey law, everything here is legal.
Until it's illegal.
And your FFL goes, yeah, I don't want to risk my license by having that sent here, so I'm not even going to take it. You know what I'm saying? I won't even order it for you.
Yeah.
That's a level of frustrations a lot of people don't get. And the annoying thing is, other states won't even sell it to us. The shop I go to here in NPA, that you can buy a long arm. They won't sell that firearm to someone out of state. So I'm like, well, what the hairy heck? It's not a pistol. Why can't you sell it? And no one wants to play with their FFL.
Yeah.
To find out if you can or can't. And that's why people like me do what I do.
Well, since you're already talking about what you do, why don't you tell everyone what you do at the Seconds for Everyone diversity events?
Me tells everybody what I do.
Wow.
I said that on purpose. Second is for Everyone diversity shoot is to bring a bunch of people in, regular gun owners already who aren't politically active. This time we're going to introduce them to their new NRA ILA rep for North Jersey. I just got confirmation from the guy in charge of NRA ILA grassroots organizations. They're going to send their North Jersey rep to the June 1st diversity shoot, so you get to meet him, talk to him. He just came off the last year's campaign trail, so he'll be full of vigor. We're going to have pizza. We're going to have snacks. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff sent out by Adams Arms. We have cool swag sent by Henry and their new catalog for 2017. SDI, we're going to have a lot of swag from them. So I'll be posting pictures of some of the swag we have in. And we're going to have a good time. I introduce new shooters to real firearms owners and the heads of these organizations like CNJFO, and they usually have firearms there, and they will train you on how to shoot them that evening just to have fun. Just what end of the gun the bullet come out of, and just have you have a good time at this event. It's a chance for non-gun owners and gun owners to actually fellowship together. Even if you have an anti-gunner at work or something, we've reduced the fee to $10. $10 to shoot and hang out and eat food and win prizes from 6 o'clock at night until 9 o'clock at night. That's 3 hours of entertainment in North Jersey for $10. You can't beat that anywhere. So it's diversityshoot.com. If you believe in what I'm doing, you can go to diversityshoot.com and donate. And also at the top of the show, if you've gotten this far, then you've heard how you can get actual items sent to us. So I really appreciate any guys that help us out and doing what we do, because this fight can never stop, especially in a state like this, because whatever happens in Jersey does not stay in Jersey. These loser politicians will hear about something that happened in Jersey, in your state and go, hey, it worked there. Let's try to pass it here. And now you have to fight it. So if we can defeat it, now Gold Dome building, it might not get to yours. Again, you can help at diversityshoot.com. And pretty soon we'll come out with our 2A, 4E Diversity Shoot t-shirts. And they're all going to be limited edition for a limited time. So as soon as we set up this website, launch everything, and I talk to the t-shirt guy about the volume he can handle, we're going to launch it. So thanks for your time. Thanks for letting me be on. As I say every week, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no sweat, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So, oh yeah, and by the way, we have a class this weekend, Fundamental Pistol. You want to take it, go to blackbagresources.com, sign up for the class. Really helps if you prepay so we know who's coming.
Cool. All right, well, that's it for the show. Send questions or comments to gungearreview@gmail.com. Subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Leave a guess as to how many Magpul shirts you think I own, and you'll get a chance to win some Magpul products. You know what? I think I'm going to throw some stickers and some patches in there, too, just because I can. Boom.
There you go.
Check out all the other shows on Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv, and be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage, as well as following us on @Firearms Insider on Instagram to see some of our shenanigans, and you'll see the posts when we get a review up and published.
All right, can I make a complaint right before we go off the air about these shotguns that aren't shotguns that are firearms?
No.
Yeah, I guess.
No.
I'm not getting a stock. I'm not getting a full 18.5-inch barrel. Why the heck do they cost twice to 3 times as much as a shotgun? I'm getting less of everything. The bird
Because you're paying for them to know which NFA buttons to push.
Oh,
And now you can shoulder that SIG brace, so that's added value.
Just stop it. Talk about getting ripped, dude. You didn't do anything. I got a bunch of lesser shotgun that I can't even use as effectively. You bunch of dorks. Talk about a sucker move.
We're talking about law versus reality.
Whatever. I'm talking about I didn't get anything extra. And I got a whole lot less, but hey, look, it's cool.
That's right. You lost a stock. You lost a barrel length.
Lost the ability to shoot full house loads unless I want to catch a face full of barrel. So I just got a cool range toy and I paid way too much for it.
And your point is?
My point is that's why you need to get off your butts and get politically active to get rid of the NFA. And all of that goes away.
Well, they still might be expensive. Just not
no, they won't.
You know what?
Once the NFA goes, who wants that? I can get a short barrel shotgun and not even care.
That's true. I can buy a standard one and just cut the barrel off.
The NFA is not going to go away, not because of this, that, and the other, but because of the $200 tax stamp you have to pay.
I think the NFA
one time the government's ever backed out of a tax.
All right. If you guys are gonna rant and banter, let me hit the button first, all right?
Yeah, okay, guys.